Hi everyone, we're into lesson 6.4. We're going to create a sequence of events using Playmaker in our scene, and this will be the conclusion of our Playmaker chapter. So what we're going to do is try to do something clever with our commands we created here. So we create a little UI where we hit button on, button off. It turns the lights on and off. And what we're going to do is, instead of just creating one event where it turns one light on, we're going to create a series of events. And what we should also try and do is connect up these animated stairs as well. So we're using the button to control the movement of the stairs as well. So very simply, I'm going to create another state in between these ones. Okay, state one, and rather than going directly from get spacebar into light on, it's going to go into state one, and then state one is going to have a finished command, which is just a standard move on when you're ready command back onto light on. So I've interrupted that flow when it first happens, and in here I'm going to put a wait. So I'll type in wait into my action browser and find wait, and you've got random waits, you've got waits, wait any key, but I'm going to go with wait. Okay, you can set a time in here. Now earlier I was talking about ticks and how ticks are based on different computers' processing speeds, so they're not to be relied on. Playmaker's been clever and has put in this button real time. So if you type in a time, it'll be correct if you put in real time. Then it's based on the clock rather than the ticks. So we're going to have a wait of 2 seconds, and the finish of the event we're going to go to finished. So it's going to send that command straight on there. So what will happen now is that rather than sending that command off straight away, when I hit the UI, I've got it mixed up, that's why it's not working there. It's going to wait for 2 seconds before it moves on to the next one. So it's instant, and then it's 2 seconds wait, and then the light turns on. There you go, see? So that's where we're creating sequences, because you can start to build everything up. So if you want an animation, and there's going to be like 3 seconds between one thing and maybe 1.5 seconds to the next, you can build them all up using wait commands, just a slightly easier way than doing animations. Right, now let's try and do the really clever thing, if I can remember how. Rather than turning on and off the light, let's see if we can control the animation of the stairs. Now, the way to do this is, if we can still use this FSM, even though it's in the directional light component, we can use it to control anything. Let's find our stairs, which is in my scenery, and I've got SL stairs, right? That should have the animation component. Why is it not changing? Let's try selecting it from here. What happens? Oh, no. Sitting on the game mode. Right, let's just get back into our scene. Spin around. Select these treads. There we go. And there's our animator there. Stage left central treads. Let's click and drag this in and see what options we get. Animator. And we got quite a lot of options, to be honest. I can't remember which one we should be using. We've got Animator Play is a good one. So that will say central led SL central treads, start playing the animation, and that will play that if it's already off. But there's a much easier way of doing this, right? You could actually get rid of that. Let's just turn this off, the animator for this, and we'll turn it on. In fact, I'm doing this slightly wrong. We need to put it in this one because I'm going to do something clever. So it's going to be off. We'll set it here to turn on when he gets a keyboard command or the button. So we're going to enable it and set its value to on. And then what we want to do is we want to stop it when it's off. So this wait of 1 or 2 seconds will relate to how long it takes for the treads to move off stage. So in this state, we'll have the same thing, animator, set property, enabled, and we're going to set it to off, okay? And then afterwards, when he gets another keyboard command, we can do the same thing again. It will send a command to another state, which will be another wait. I haven't named it, so it goes to there. We can come out and go finished, go to here, and this wait will be however long it takes for them to come back in again, which will probably be the same amount of time it took to go in. So I'm going to create a wait. I'm going to be brave and I'm going to say it's 1.5 seconds. It's going to be different. I don't know which one it's going to be. Finished, real time, and then it's going to send it back to this one where we are going to disable, so I don't need that, disable the animator again. set property, enabled. I've done this quite a few times for projects. Oh, we need to add it in here, don't we? Enabled, set project, to enabled, set value. This is a really dirty way of doing this. There's a much better way of doing it by controlling the animation properly. I found this was quick and easy because what's happening, if we go back to our animator, when we were playing, this was running at 0.1 seconds, and if you remember, the animation goes, let's click on it. No, I can't do it in game mode. It's going in and then out again. So what we're trying to do is at that first set, so in Playmaker, this event here is off, you get the command, and then in this section it gets turned on. So it turns on straight away, and then that wait, so it's 2 seconds I've allowed for so far, it's going to be way too much, will be how long it takes until it gets to here. So we have to do a bit of trial and error to try and find the amount of time it takes to get to that point. When it gets there, the wait command will finish and it will go to here, and it will turn off the animator and it will stop wherever it was. And this animation will pause, hopefully, here, if I get it right. When it gets another command, it goes back to this state. It then allows this to continue and pull it back into the middle, and hopefully the wait command will tell it to turn off exactly that point again. In fact, I'm sure I've got it too slow, so I'm going to make them both 1 second, and we'll see how that works. Let's hit play. Hopefully the animator for that tread is off. Yeah, so nothing's happening. If I hit button on, oh, nothing's happened. It hasn't moved. Oh, this is that weird thing happening again. Right, so 1 second wasn't long enough. I only got halfway, and then the second time it just carries on, so it's just doing it in little jumps. So it probably needs to be, oh, I mean, as much as maybe 3 seconds. Let's try 3 seconds. Play. We do button on. Oh, there we go. 3 seconds, gets to there. I don't think that's gone all the way, has it? No, it comes back again. It's maybe more like 4.5 seconds, maybe even 5. We'll get there. So it doesn't take too long. Let's try 5 seconds. 5 seconds out, 5 seconds in. And of course, if you speed up the animation, you'll have to change these timings. So let's start that. Button on, button off. There we go. 5 seconds. Hopefully we should see it just slowing down as it gets ready to stop. Okay, and then we hit button on, and that comes back in again. There you go. So we've got buttons. So you could change that name now, rather than button on and button off. We could change it to stairs on, stairs off. So that actually should say stairs off, and that would be stairs on. Now we talked about the weird animation happening on the other stairs. What we could also do is control that animator too at the same time. So we'd find that stair. I don't know if this is actually going to fix the hideous jumping we're getting. I'm still not sure what's causing that. And we'll load this in as well and do set property, enabled, and we're going to set it to on. And then the next one is going to turn it off. Enabled, off, and then back on again to turn back to the middle. Enabled and set value to on, and at the end set property, enabled and off. And in the actual scene we might as well turn it off because we've now told it to be off in this state. We're at the start, so it'll automatically turn it off, so it makes sense just for consistency to leave it off. So we hit play. And if we hit none, there we go, they both go at the same time. And they stop. And the light comes on as well because that's still on that command. And button off brings them back in again. Let's see if the controller behaves itself. No, it's very strange. Don't know why it does that, but it's ruined that for us. Anyway, it's turned it off and it's left it sitting there. So that's how you would build scenery controls with a user interface and Playmaker. Very easy. I'd actually rather do that myself with a slider. So the slider has a distance between like 0 and 5, and that relates to 5 meters in the scene. If your slider only goes sort of 0 to 1 and you need to go 15 meters, you can use that multiply tool I showed you. So you could do whatever the value is of the slider times by 15. I mean that when it gets to 1 on the slider, that's 15 meters in real world terms. So that's the end of the Playmaker section. Hopefully that's given you a little taste of how Playmaker can be useful. The opportunities for it are huge. I've built really complicated user interfaces and integrations with OSC and HoloLens inputs, and you can get controller inputs and use that to control anything. It's such a genius bit of software. You can do anything with it. So in Chapter 7, we're just going to tidy up the last few bits. It really won't take very long. Just a little bit about talking about optimization in the scene. We're going to have a quick look at a C# script, just so we've seen one. A couple of things about creating the multiple screens. We're going to build the project out and what you can do afterwards. So I'll see you in Chapter 7. It's probably more for you to listen to than follow along, but hopefully you'll get something out of it before we finish. Thank you very much.